Hello everyone, I am Behzad Fatmi. In this video, I'm going to talk about the July 15, 2016 coup attempt that happened in Turkey. The 5th anniversary of the coup attempt is approaching soon, and therefore the Turkish government is preparing a lot of propaganda videos and publishing a lot of articles in pro-government newspapers and news agencies in Turkey, and trying to bring to people's attention their narrative of what happened on the night of July 15, 2016. But it is, and therefore it becomes very important to state the facts and look at the incident from a different perspective. Now, recently, a mob boss who was very close to the AKP and calls President Recep Tayyip Erdogan his elder brother, Sedat Peker, made some revelations on Twitter, and he claimed that then Labor Minister Süleyman Soylu, who is now the Interior Minister of Turkey, distributed arms to civilians before and after July 15, 2016. So, what the official narrative about the incidents of the night is that a group of renegade soldiers who were allegedly affiliated with the Hizmet movement or the Gülen movement, or took orders from the leader of the Gülen movement, Fethullah Gülen, and they came out on streets and tried to overthrow the government, arrest the president. They blocked the main bridge in the city, in Istanbul city, Bosphorus bridge there. So that's the official narrative, that that soldiers affiliated with the Gülen movement, or those inspired by the Gülen movement, they tried to overthrow the government on the night of July 15, 2016, and of course the government says that they had no idea that this was coming. But Sedat Peker, who was once very close to the AKP, he is a mobster who he is a crime leader. He was convicted. He spent many years in jail. And he was then released by the AKP back in 2015 or 14. And during the July 15, 2016 events, he had his own role to play. After the coup attempt, he would address public meetings and say that we will take revenge from these people, with those affiliated with the Gülen movement, and we will take bath in their blood. That's his statement. That's what he said in a public rally. But now Sedat Peker has some differences with the AKP, and he had to flee Turkey, and he's now living in Dubai. And he said that since the AKP government, and especially he's targeting the Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu, he says that the government tried to scapegoat me, and they harassed my wife, they harassed my daughters, and they raided my home, and therefore I have to take revenge. And now he is slowly confessing some of the crimes that he himself committed, and of course by doing so he's also naming a lot of figures close to the government, and in fact some senior government officials with whom he says he committed a lot of crimes. And therefore since early May, he has been making YouTube videos in which he has been making a lot of revelations, and he has been confessing a lot of crimes that he himself has committed. With regards to, there are a lot of things that he said, of course, but with regards to the 15th July 2016 coup attempt, he just a few days back, he said that the then labor minister and Süleyman Soylu, who is now the interior minister of Turkey, he distributed arms to civilians before and after the coup attempt in Turkey. Now the question arises, if it was just a coup attempt, it was a coup attempt, it was a group of renegade soldiers who wanted to overthrow the government, and they were taking this action on behalf of or on the directives of a Islamic scholar sitting thousands of miles away in Pennsylvania, United States. If they were taking this action on his directives, why would the labor minister, why would a minister of the Erdogan government distribute arms to civilians, and to and these civilians were the members of the AKP youth wing. AKP is the ruling party of Turkey. So Süleyman Soylu distributed arms to the members of the ruling party. So the question arises, what were they preparing for? Why did they distribute arms to people? Now, this is a claim made by Sedat Peker. He doesn't say anything more about the events of July 15, 2016, but this is a claim that has not been made for the first time. A lot of Turkish journalists and observers have already been saying that arms were distributed to civilians and to AKP supporters and members before July 15, 2016. In fact, it is also clear that the government had already prepared a list of people they wanted to punish after the July 15, 2016 coup attempt. Now, if you look at this fact that arms were distributed to civilians and to AKP members and supporters before July 15, 2016, with another fact that the bullets that were found in the bodies of those who died on the night of July 15, 2016 did not match with the inventory of the Turkish Armed Forces, it tells you something. It tells you that those who died on the night of July 15, 2016 were not killed by the renegade soldiers as the Turkish government wants you to believe. Rather, they were killed by unnamed civilians who had guns that were not registered with the Turkish Armed Forces. So, it also raises a very serious question on the government narrative that it was a coup attempt. It just shows that the incidents or the events on the night of July 15, 2016 was a staged operation. Now, there's another very important fact that also strengthens this argument that the events of the night of the July 15, 2016 were a staged operation that was they were not a serious attempt or real attempt at overthrowing the government. Weeks later, weeks after the incidents, the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan issued a presidential decree and gave legal immunity to all those who came out on the streets to resist the coup. So who were the people who came out on the streets to resist the coup according to government's narrative? They were those who were AKP supporters and were armed on that night. So the crimes that they committed on that night, the people that they killed on the night of July 15, 2016, more than 250 people, most of them civilians, those civilians were killed by another set of civilians who were armed by the AKP government itself, who were armed by one of the ministers of the government. Now, this is the fact about July 15, 2016. This is what, these are some very basic information, facts about the night of July 15, about the incidents of the night of July 15, 2016, which of course the government doesn't want you to believe, the government doesn't want you to hear it, the government doesn't want you to read about it. So I think it is very important to also raise these questions, or to think about these questions, these facts, before you start believing in what the dictatorial Erdogan government or the Erdogan regime is saying. Now let's look at some of the other claims Sedat Peker, the mob boss I told you about, has been making. Some of you may say that why am I talking about a crime boss? He is a convicted leader, convicted crime boss. Why do we give so much importance to him? The reason why he becomes so important is that he was once very close to the AKP government. He was he was somebody who was making statements and was addressing AKP rallies, where he would go and give statements like, we shall take a bath in the blood of those who orchestrated the coup attempt, referring to the Gulen movement. So he's such a person. He had full government backing, and he would lend his support. He is a crime leader. He has his own men who would do things on the order, nasty things on the order of the government. For example, Sedat Peker also confirmed, and this was previously reported, that his men attacked Hurriyet newspaper back in 2015. Now he is a person who was acting on the behalf of the government. Different ministers and AKP members were giving him orders, and he would go and do nasty things that the government didn't want to do itself. And therefore now he has become, and the fact that now he has become, he has parted ways with the government, and the government also wants to punish him for various reasons. We can talk about that later on in another video. That's a topic for perhaps a separate video itself. But now, since they have, Sedat Peker has parted ways with the government, and he now wants to take revenge from the government itself, he is making different claims, and he is actually confirming some of the claims that had already been made by a lot of journalists. So Sedat Peker says that AKP MP Tolga R raped a Kyrgyz journalist named Yeldana Kahraman and murdered her later on. Of course, what happened to him? He is still a member of parliament from the ruling party, from Recep Tayyip Erdogan's party, and he enjoys full government backing. There's no compromise on that. Sedat Peker also claimed that the former Prime Minister Binali Yildirim's son is involved in drug trafficking. If you look at recent reports about drug trafficking in Turkey, you would find that all of a sudden Turkey has started making headlines in international media about, with regards to drug trafficking, as if Turkey has become a hub of transnational drug trafficking. Now Sedat Peker comes out and says that that the son of former Prime Minister Binali Yildirim, who is very, very close to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, is involved in drug trafficking. He says that he went to Venezuela when he found out that exporting drugs from Colombia had become difficult, and the local Colombian police was taking action against shipments to Turkey. He went to Venezuela to find a new route to import drugs from the Latin American countries. He makes another very startling claim that President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has an economic advisor named Korkmaz Karaca, and this person is a pimp. He arranges women for politicians and then films them, and Korkmaz Karaca was the person who was responsible for filming opposition leader Deniz Baykal, the leader of the main opposition CHP party, with a woman. So he Korkmaz Karaca arranged a woman and then for Deniz Baykal, and then filmed him with the woman. So and of course, because of that, that it was his act was shot, and then the video was circulated in Turkey, because of which Deniz Baykal had to resign from the CHP. Now it comes up, now Sedat Peker claims that the woman who was with Deniz Baykal was sent by Korkmaz Karaca, who is now an economic advisor to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Now, looking at these claims, looking at these facts about Turkey and about President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his government, I really find it very hard to believe that a lot of people in India and in other South Asian countries really think of him as a messiah, as a pious Muslim who is actually trying to establish a very Islamic government, who is actually trying to make Turkey a very Islamic country, and therefore America and Israel are against him. But Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a person who has surrounded himself with people like Tolga R, who is a rapist and a murderer. He also has a drug trafficker around him, Ben Ali Yildirim and his son. He also has a pimp around him, Korkmaz Karaca. But this is the kind of person Recep Tayyip Erdogan is. And do you really, can you really believe that all these people around him are doing everything that they're doing without his knowledge? It's really not possible. Erdogan is a person who is known for intervening in even minute things within the government and the party. He is somebody who is known for micromanaging, and yet a lot of people think that he is a person who is a pious Muslim, and therefore the West is against him, and therefore Israel is against him. The fact is, Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a corrupt politician. He is a person who is not only anti-democratic, who is not only a fascist, he is also deeply un-Islamic. And the better, the early we Muslims understand it, the better it is for us. So yes, in this video, I just wanted to touch upon some of the recent claims that have been confirmed by a person who was very close to the AKP, Sedat Peker, which actually the claims that undermines or damages the official narrative with regards to the July 15, 2016 coup attempt, and also tell you about some other claims that this person has been making about President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his government. I hope you will like this video, and if you do, please share it with your friends, and also don't forget to click on the like button on the video, and also if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing to it. Thank you so much. I will see you in next video. Goodbye.